Can Ironclad win without attacking? When I thought of this challenge, I ruled out Silent, Necrobinder, and Defect because they all have mechanics that deal skill-based damage. Regent, I felt like I had a pretty good idea of what its win conditions would be, but Ironclad wins in Spire 2 by attacking. In the dev interview, Ironclad was described as the jock of Slay the Spire 2. On Reddit, people keep complaining that Ironclad can't build a block engine, and even top player Japanese export put Barricade and Juggernaut at the bottom of his latest tier list. As for the challenge, the rules are no attacking. That's it, that's the only rule. But to be more specific, also no attacking via cards like Mayhem or Stampede. Well, the only way to begin is by beginning, so I jumped into a run and immediately lost. To explain, the first floor of every act is a hallway fight. Since the Ironclad starter deck has no ways of dealing damage without attacking, we have to find skill, power, potion, or relic-based damage from the whale. Niao offers 24 different relics, and 11 of these are potential outs. After 2 quick deaths, run 3 gave us our first playable run with Inferno and what were functionally 2 curses. Any optimism I had was dashed by losing 47 health to Nibbit, almost dying to whatever this is. I escaped 2 combats at 1 health and then was mercy killed on floor 11. I think I hadn't anticipated all the ways that the no attack rule made the game harder. Like sure, attack pot and vulnerability pot are functionally useless, but even skill pot here gave me 2 blanks. Most of my card rewards were useless, and the transform was, wait, is that Alf? You guys see it, right? Or at least an anteater situation. Run 4 and we got a live one. Juggernaut functionally made my defense into Iron Waves. We got Battle Trance as a card reward, and Alf even came back. We were losing 11 health in fights instead of 40. We got to hard counter the bugs debuff, and even got to relive the joys of lightning orbs hitting the wrong sentries. And then we died to Frog Parasite. We had 2 playable runs in a row, but wasn't transforming into Juggernaut a bit of a high roll? What were we hoping to hit that was better than that? To be honest, I had forgotten that Stoke was even an out in this challenge. The run started by taking 21 turns and 27 health to beat the easiest fight in the game. And in the next fight, I found an interesting conundrum. Do you play your defense against a scaling enemy when every defend comes with the opportunity cost of finding your win con? As the fight dragged on, Ashen Strikes kept popping up like the pesky kid in class who always knows the answer. A voice in my head said, surely it'd be okay to play just 1 attack. I kept burning away cards because it was already turn 13, I didn't have a way to damage the enemy, and oh, I forgot that could happen. I think it's really funny to imagine this from the enemy's perspective, like the Ironclad keeps setting things on fire, finally hits the enemy, and then just falls dead on the floor. 3 playable runs in a row, but our luck was running out. I think it's worth appreciating that this type of challenge would have been far more annoying in Spire 1. In that game, if you didn't reach the Act 1 boss, your next run would give you a choice between max health and a relic that made your opponents almost dead, but not quite dead. Luckily here, we were free to keep abandoning run until we found a playable start. A few runs later, I got Stoke again, and 24 turns into the first fight, the damage scoreboard read 70-0 for the away team, or I guess the home team, like the monsters live in the Spire. And I definitely appreciate that after making a whole video about how much I hate stalling, that I put myself in this position. In total, it took 42 turns to win the fight, only to lose the next one. There were other attempts. Large Capsule almost won me a fight. And then it happened. 40 runs into the challenge, we got the Bomb. The Bomb is a card that I never really rated that highly in Spire 1. Mostly it was just really bad into Gremlin Knob. And unfortunately, it was also really bad into our Act 1 boss, Vantum. See, Vantum starts with 9 stacks of Slippery, and each stack of Slippery reduces the next instance of damage down to 1. Realistically, it was a run loss unless we found another source of damage. And our first combat reward gave us just that. Powdered Demise. The enemy loses 9 health at the end of each of its turns. Things were looking good. We were hard countering enemies, getting useful combat rewards, and even healing in fights. And maybe I was underestimating my deck at this point, but approaching these 2 campfires, I decided that I wanted to rest once and upgrade once. So I thought, I'll rest first and see if the chest affects which card I want to upgrade. And every day, the world finds new ways to punish you. Vantum in the rearview mirror, and Jackpot. The combination of Fasten, Unmovable, and Dexterity meant our first Defend Plus each turn would block for 36. Unfortunately, the Act 2 Ancient didn't give me a ton to work with. With defense effectively solved, there weren't that many defect cards that I was interested in. And mostly what I wanted were to find exhaust cards to exhaust my deck down to just playing Defend Plus and the Bomb every turn. Damage short. To be honest, I was feeling quite down at this point. The feeling I had was that I had squandered a 1 in a million run, when empirically it was only 1 in 40. And looking back at the run, I thought some of the mistakes were very obvious. The membership card purchase looked very silly in retrospect, and I just played badly. So I went to sleep. But I didn't sleep for long. I can tell by these timestamps it was about 5.5 hours from the end of one run to the start of the next. And on the 5th run of the morning, the Bomb was back. With last night's Sandworm loss still fresh, I took Pyre as an energy solution. I was prepared for the sandworm, but nothing could prepare me for thieving Hopper stealing the bomb. Or at least the card that for one very scary moment looked like the bomb. And then we had it. The rematch between the bomb and the sandworm. I rested before the fight, I used my potions, and took 0 damage. Vaku gave me 2 good relic options. The free power was tempting, but apparitions would already help me get my powers in play. I took the apparitions and took on Act 3. Mission accomplished. And I feel like what I learned is that in Spire 2, I've been underestimating the bomb. Maybe the bomb was, in fact, the bomb.